Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well. From wherever you're watching this channel, let us quickly visit a story regarding the development about Albert Ojuang's murder probe. Now, recently, Deputy Inspector General of Police, one who stepped aside talking about Edwin Langat, was given until 18th July to respond to High Court application that sought his removal from office and prosecution over the issue regarding Albert Ojuang. Now, the respondents, according to that order, are required to file and serve their respective responses to both the application and the petition by close of business on July 18th. Now, I want to take you through this judgment from or directive from Justice CHACHA. But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, like this video, subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed before, and to our existing subscribers, thank you so much for your support. Let's delve into this order from Justice CHACHA, because LAGAT has been given until 18th of July. So this is how part of the order read. The respondents, LAGAT, IPOA, DPP, Ruto, Kanja, Amin, and others, and interested parties shall enter their appearance and file and serve their responses to both the application and petition by close of business on July 18th. So, looking at these named people here, I think there's something that the courts want to get from these people. One, from Amin, maybe the courts want to establish the circumstances under which the arrest was made, because they have been advancedly mentioned to have maybe overreacted. You know, when this matter, according to Lagat, when he launched a complaint, he expected some investigation to be done, but maybe according to him, people overreacted. Now, on the issue of Kanja, the IG Kanja, I think the courts want to establish how he was convinced with the statement he read when he talked about Albert Ojuang knocking his head on the wall. Just assuming that is the case, that's what Justice CHACHA wants to get as clarification from him. Now, on William Ruto as a respondent, I think on the part of William Ruto, because we are told that there was a closed-door meeting between the president and DIG Lagat, so something was said there. Maybe the court want clarification on that discussion, probably, you know, what could have taken place there. Now, on the part of DPP, I assume the court want to establish why. Probably they ended up picking the OCS, James Ukwana, and the other police constables who were arrested, and not DIG, because near DIG was also adversely mentioned, you know, in the whole drama. Now, on the part of Lagat, being the person who is accused by many people but has not been charged in court, what does he know? You know, what did he tell the IPOA people? Because you have seen that he was grilled, but then nobody saw him walk in and walk out. So this thing was done in secrecy, you know. And again, the IPOA chair and the CEO were not part and parcel of that grilling. They said that it was done by the technical team. So they were literally trying to withdraw from that blame game. Wasionekana kwamba wao ni accomplice hapo. Kama
guest today, our PS, Minister of Internal, Dr. Raymond Omondi Omolo, Your Excellency, the DG, members of Parliament, members of the county assembly, leaders present here today, distinguished ladies, good afternoon.
So let's focus on this response. Let us assume the response is done, you know, because if you look at the story further, you find that activists had sought orders to bar LAGAT from resuming office pending the hearing and determination of the application. Their main plea was to stop the prosecution of Nairobi Central Station Commander Samson Talam and his juniors Constable James Mkwana, Peter Kimani, alongside 3 civilian accomplices until LAGAT is included in the charge sheet as the principal suspect.
Na hakuna polisi yoyote ambayo inaweza kuuliza watu.
We need such a unit under IPOA, a unit which is not under the direct command of the Inspector General of Police. We need a unit that is directly under IPOA that has the power to arrest without reference or order from the main police.
3 police officers are charged alongside criminal suspect John Ngige Gitau Gin, Amitou Abuao, and Brian Monique Njue, who were already in custody before OJUANG was brought in. Gitau, Abuao, and Njue are alleged to have been paid to discipline OJUANG while he was in custody. He died in the process, and the 6 suspects were charged with his murder at the Kibera locals. So the activists sued IPOA, DPP, NPS, LAGAT, Ruto, and respondents, accusing them of orchestrating scheme to shield LAGAT from criminal responsibility in OJUANG's case. So they're interested in the DIG. That's why they filed this lawsuit. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this development that LAGAT has been given until 18th July to comply?
For starters, we have been failed by IPOA. IPOA cannot, as the person investigating police conduct, attend a press conference where the police are explaining their own conduct. You cannot do that. IPOA cannot come and tell us that they have arrested people and they are prosecuting people for murder when the central suspect has not written a statement to date. How do you determine then who should be taken to court if you've not interviewed Eliud Lagat up to now? IPOA has failed us and we must call them to order. The other failure is in response to what now happened, the public outcry. I read the statement of 16th June 2025 by the DIG Eliud Lagat, where he says he has voluntarily stepped aside. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing like stepping aside in law. I invite, Mr. Speaker, that we look at the National Police Service Act, we look at Section 17, we look at Section 95A. Under Section 17, the President can remove the DIG, can retire the DIG, or can redeploy the DIG. None of those can be done by the DIG themselves. Under Section 95A, the disciplinary process can only be done by a disciplinary committee of the National Police Service Commission. You cannot discipline yourself by saying you've stepped aside. What does that mean in law? Mr. Speaker, I want to suggest that this whole issue is a charade. If you look back to the questions that were asked, before you are arrested, you are supposed to be told why you are being arrested. Under Article 49. This was not an arrest, this was an abduction. And to use the word arrest, as has been used by chairman, is wrong. And if it was an arrest, you are supposed to be taken to the nearest police station. Why would you be taken 600 kilometers? And when you are taken to the station, then the OB is not recorded. At what point then are you told of the reason for your arrest? And then you are put in situations where you are clearly have been set up to be killed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just go below in the comment section and tell us what you think about this story. Perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe and like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.